Hey you all, I hope you guys are having a good day so far. I just wanted to get on here. The Holy Spirit earlier this week, spoke to me and said overlooked. And then he referenced David to me. And, this word could be for many of people. A lot of times, in our younger age, we have been overlooked or rejected in some type of way. You may have tried to seek validation for certain things, and you were rejected, and that usually goes through to our adulthood. And we start to find ourselves in situations where we're being rejected or we're being overlooked, and this can stem from relationships, family, however. But God would always leave the 99 for the one. And I think that's so beautiful because, we could feel inadequate because of everything that we've been through. We could feel like, well, you know, we're not worthy of, God's love, or we're not worthy of certain things. But God looks in the inner parts of us, even when we're rejecting Him, or even when we're not receptive to Him, He still knows our heart. And when he referenced David to me, it was, he highlighted to me about how, Samuel was on a mission. He was on a mission, and he went to go look for the next king. And, the dad was trying to present all the other brothers, and David was far away. But the thing about it is God knew his heart. He knew he was a man after God's own heart. And he told Samuel, don't look at this outer appearance. Don't look at the stature of him, because I've already seen his heart. So when David came, he was like, that's the one. And I think that is so beautiful because, I just think about when I was like out in the streets doing whatever, like God would always stretch his hand out to me like, come back, daughter, come back, and you don't really get those revelations until you've surrendered, and you really start to think about the things that God did do for you, and you start to see like, God, this was you in this situation. This was what you were trying to do in this situation. But when you're overlooked and rejected, that's for a reason usually, and it starts at a young age. But God still knows your heart. He formed us before, he formed us pretty much before we were in our mother's womb. He knew who we were, and he knew who we were going to be. So remember, when you're overlooked or rejected, just know that God is with you, and just know that, God sees the real you, and he will leave the 99 for the one. So, all right, you guys, I hope you guys have a good Saturday, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, bye.